Bear with me real quick. I can Baba Kashai. Let me get something real quick. Right here, yep. Khan A. Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, Yahweh, who the word really calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the word really calls Jesus. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, who teaches this truth and rest like to do. So it's going to be a quick video. Lord, if it was edifying, only I can get something from this video. Quick video through the Spirit. I grab a couple of precepts here. First Maccabees, the first chapter. And then it's like, I'm going to get a couple of precepts in Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. Though one of those edifying to you, Akim and you Aquath that may come across the video. The reason why I wanted to get a couple scriptures is the reason why I'm on this topic is because you have to know this devil, right? You have to know the tactics, and you have to understand the hatred that he has for us. You know, like the brother said earlier, Israel saying that the biggest threat is young so-called black Americans. Well, why? Because the truth is out, man. The truth is out, okay? And, scripture says he's wiser than Daniel. They've been paying attention. Don't think for 1 second that they haven't been paying attention. Don't think for 1 second that the higher up of them, that they don't know what, they don't know who the true biblical Israelites are. A couple months ago, you saw, who was that? I don't know if it was it was a higher up in one of them heathen countries. I think it was India, if I'm not mistaken. They were questioning being not a Jew, right? And asking them, were they the people? And, he was like, yeah, certainly we are. But, just the fact that it's even in question goes to show you that, hey, the truth is speaking, okay? The truth is speaking. And it was said that this was going to happen before the destruction come. Okay, now you see the wars, you see the rumors of wars, you see what's going on, and what people don't understand, which they look through, is that, it's always a deeper level to everything that this guy does on the left-hand side, right? This is a sacrifice of people, man. Okay, which that's nothing new. All right, you can read about that in the scriptures, man. It's nothing new. Okay, they've been sacrificing people for their so-called gods, which are no gods on the left-hand side, which are nothing but demons, right? So if I'm not mistaken, that word demon goes into intelligence. Okay, but all in all, the Lord is going to have mercy on whom he will have mercy. The Lord is going to guide and protect who he's going to guide and protect. And Lord will not be one of those men that he guides and protect, man. Okay? Me and my household, and you, Sincere Akim, and your households, okay? Now, it's a lot on this First Maccabees, the first chapter. It's a lot. I encourage brethren to read it. Read the whole chapter. But for time purposes, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm going to get a couple precepts here and just basically hit the main points going into the wickedness of Esau, okay, and what he did and how far he would push the line. Okay, this is First Maccabees 1, and then I'll go to 54. This is now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year. They set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. It says, with any, and whosoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Okay, and well, the more they crack down on law, the worse it get. It was going to bring in a feminine of the word. It's going to bring in a feminine of the word because it's already, you already can't really say nothing about the small hats. You know what I mean? And, the further we get into this thing, the more code talk we're going to have to use. You know what I mean? Because, you just saying their name, man, is, you say that, boy, your whole channel gets strike. It's a quote. It says, if you want to figure out who runs the world, figure out who you can't talk about. And you damn sure can't talk about them people, man. Okay? You got to watch how when you're talking about them, you got to talk in code. This is First Maccabees 1 and 60. It says, and it says, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. Let me see. It's like, yeah. I think I skipped a verse. It says, thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. So if you had the scriptures in your house, if you had the book of the law in your house, if you were following the law such as the commandments, you were put to death. Okay? You had wicked men of Israel that went out, and which it explains it, but they went out and they start following after the ways of the heathen, which if you don't understand the Apocrypha, if you don't understand the history, if you don't understand the book of Maccabees, then you won't understand the New Testament, because you would think that it's actually talking about Gentiles. But Jake was already in the Gentile state when we were being persecuted by the Greeks. Jake was already in a Gentile state of mind. Heavy. Okay? Already. Okay? It says, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. This is howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. Right, and that's what was going on. Okay, you had Jegduna, you had the sons that got tortured in front of their mother. You know what I mean? Tongues cut off, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And this is how treacherous Esau got with us. Period, man. It says when Alexander the freak died, right? When he set his generals up, the world became way more wicked, man. I think it's, let me go up. Let me see. Yep. This is First Maccabees 1 and 7. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay? Earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Come on, man. When Esau got his foot in the door, so to speak, especially during the Renaissance, up until now, the world has been wicked. The world has been overly evil. People don't know their left hand from their right hand, man. Women don't know their place. Men don't know their place. Children don't know their place. You can't tell nobody nothing. You can't correct nobody. Everybody's lover of themselves. Everybody think they're bigger than the motherfucking program. Okay? But you're not bigger than the program. Okay? This is First Maccabees 1, and back, I want to get this again. It says 61. It says, and they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. So parents that circumcised their children, which is a law, got put to death, right? They hung the children about their necks. You know how treacherous you got to be to do that, man? You know how much hatred you got to have towards the people to do that to them? You know what I mean? And when the conquistadors came from Spain and they met with the Northern Kingdom, Issachar, right? What happened? You know, they were hanging children upside down, cutting the stomach open. If the woman was, hanging the woman upside down that was pregnant with child, cut the stomach open, seeing if it's a boy or a girl. They played these wicked ass games, man. Showing you that they had hatred towards us. Period. Okay? Period. And you have a lot to pay for, man. This is the Wisdom of Solomon 2. Let me go down. And 12. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. Right, which we do. Okay, who's doing that? Right? The true biblical Israelites across the four corners of the earth, they got this truth. And we can prove it. 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold. See? We're grievous unto righteousness. Us bringing out the truth and exposing and uncovering the lifting up the skirt on this place is fucking with their mind, man. So eventually they're going to come down. Salakia. It says, 15, it says, he is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Right? And our ways is of this truth. Okay, it says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. And we do, right? We do. Okay, it says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. Right? And this is a proud statement for them, because what? You're tempting the Lord. Okay, it says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. And, you could go back to where Satan was tempting the Lord. Okay, if you're the son of the Lord, turn this rock into bread. Little things like that. You know what I mean? I ain't going to say little things, but things like that. It's like, that's the same spirit that's in these people. They never was right. They never could get right since the garden. Okay? It says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, but that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Right? And that's the mindset that they have. Yeah, let's see if he meek. Let's see if he trusts in who he say he trusts in. Let's prove it. Let's prove his patience. It says, let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. See? Like they don't believe. They don't believe. Oh yeah, you think you You think you are a child of the Lord? Oh, let's see if he protect you. Let us put you through this and see if he protect you. It says, such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. So their own wickedness, your own wickedness have blinded you. A lot of scriptures say you thought thou were altogether such one of yourself. No. You're going to be punished, man. You're going to drink of the cup. You're going to drink the dregs thereof. And it's well deserved. Okay? 22, it says, as for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hope. It's like it. Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for the blameless souls. Right? They were born into the earth, and they lived deliciously, and they killed. They were a plague of the earth. Okay? They were a plague of the earth, man. The earth is not flourished under the rulership of these Edomites, man. Okay? It hasn't in these other nations. 22, it says, as for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. For the Most High created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, though through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side, so it's like his side do find it. So at the end of the day, you guys got plans to do whatever. Whatever, man. Okay? But at the end of the day, we know that it's going to be well with the righteous. We know that the Lord is going to protect his men. And we know that the Lord is going to reward his men. We know that the Lord is going to give power and immortality to his men and to his people eventually. Okay? And then after that, that's your ass. You and the rest of the nations. Okay? Hey, so with that, man, Lord, videos edifying. Lord, like you, I got something from this video. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakadash. I want to tell you brothers, keep pushing on to the next Shalom.